Greetings and salutations, friends. You've just clicked play so that you can watch a hack that will change your life. Psych. I'm going to give you 2 hacks because you know what? It's 2 for 1 Tuesday or something. I will be your guitar teacher for the day. My name is Rob Chapman from the band Rob Chapman. Let's kick off. You'd be surprised how few people really understand how to play a single note. Now, I'm not saying that facetiously. Obviously, almost every guitar player can play a note on the guitar, but there is a technique to allow you to get the most from every note that you play and let them turn into melody. This is the trick, and I stole it from country guitar players who have a bit of a technical edge. You see, Americana country guys use these as well as this, and more often than not they have this on these, which enable them to have more than one pick. It isn't the multiple picks that makes the big difference. What it is that they have digits touching strings. Now this gives you an edge, because if you've got a good guitar, or even a mediocre guitar, hands up if you've got a mediocre guitar, all of the strings in this physics system is going to be resonating sympathetically with the string that you pick, and you'll get a lot of noise if you just pick one string and let one note resonate. Now, of course, playing guitar is multiple notes, we all know that. But if you have the ability to mute the unwanted crap from your playing, you're gonna sound so much nicer, so much cleaner and sweeter, and you will hear the inane built-in quality of your instrument and the backline that you are using. So let me teach you how to kill all of the crap that you don't want to sing, and then show you how to turn that into some liquid, beautiful legato. Okay, by way of super quick example, here is a single note being bent with no muting techniques being incorporated whatsoever. And you're hearing lots of interference from the other strings, sympathetically resonating. Here's the same note being bent with muting techniques. And you hear it turning very slowly, beautifully into a harmonic feedback, which is lovely. This gives you space to be melodic and to take your time when you are playing single note melodies like this kind of thing. Once you've got the basics of this technique under your belt, here's a really good test. You probably all know a melody that you can play on the guitar, something like Happy Birthday, or the vocal melody to Sweet Child of Mine, or even an advert that you saw on TV, and in my particular case, it was the Top Gun theme. If you can play that melody very isolated, very exposed, and slowly, and you don't bleed noise, then you've got this. Having the choice to be clean or not has to be a good thing. So here is how I'm doing it. So we start by muting the bottom 3 treble strings with these 3 fingers. You see how they touch the strings? And the underside of my thumb will rest and mute the top 3 bass strings. So if I wanted to play this G string, for example, then all I would do is I would strike the string as normal, but then I would touch the B and the E string with these 2 fingers here, and I would rest on the E, A and D string with the side of my thumb. You see this? It leaves you a hole for 1 string. Now, of course, you can do this with any of your strings. It's a good exercise to just say, well, let's mute a D string. It doesn't matter which one, but just to isolate and create a hole with your hand. Treble strings muted, bass strings muted, and here is the hole for the string that you are going to be picking, resonating, sounding, plucking, whatever, hammering, pulling. So once you've understood that concept, let's just play anything on one string as a melody. For example, you'll notice that it sounds completely different because the guitar is finally being allowed to breathe and express the system, the physics within it, and let the pickups speak the tones that the strings are giving it. It's a really liberating feeling. Let's try changing strings. So in this instance, once you've created a hole for your G string, all you're going to do is move that hole up to the D string. So I'm literally just like a little crab moving up or moving down. You see? There's nothing complicated about it. We'll start with a note on the G. And then as I move my right hand up like this, I just accommodate and touch the strings, leaving the D string open. You see? Once you are free to move up and down the strings, leaving that space for one string, unless of course you're playing a chord or a dyad, in which case there's no need to mute, you will have this complete freedom. Then we can start looking at legato. Here's a great exercise for legato. All I'm doing is choosing, it can be literally any string, but we'll do the B string, the beast ring. And we're putting our first finger on the 5th fret, second finger on the 6th fret, little finger up here on the 8th fret. My thumb is on the back of the neck so that my wrist is sunk, my shoulder is relaxed, and my elbow is down. If you're putting your thumb here, it's going to be much harder to incorporate this technique. And we're going to pull off with a little finger. That gives us the first finger sound. We're going to hammer down with the second finger, hammer down with the little finger, pull off to the second, pull off to the first, so that you get this. Now that you understand fully how to move this hybrid muting beast, you can do that across the strings. Suddenly, you are incorporating one technique to facilitate another technique, and it becomes so much easier to do legato when you've got the muting and the covering of the idle strings down. Now you can practice this legato concept with any shape, and there really are only sort of 3 shapes. There's what I call a minor shape, where you have your 3rd finger off, everything else is a finger per fret. There is the reverse of this, where this finger comes down, 2nd finger comes off, so that you've got 1 fret that is off. Or there's what I call a major shape, where you have a finger, nothing fretted, a finger, nothing fretted, and a finger. This gives you a root 2 and a major 3rd. So here's how it sounds to swap between these 3 different shapes. I'll do it on the G string to make it a bit easier for you. So minor shape, reverse minor, major. You'll notice I'm not picking anything. And let's do that again, but change them. Now, of course, you can create your own shapes. You can move it around to follow a scale pattern if you're familiar with scale shapes, or you can do it to just create your own melodies. But this is how legato is done. Once you are able to move this across the strings, keeping this muted, you are free and able to create liquid legato. Alrighty guys, hope you enjoyed this lesson on how to hybrid mute unwanted noise and then affect that to give you creamy, rolling, liquid vibrato. Welcome to my new studio setup, by the way. I'll talk you through it at some point. If you're interested, let me know in the comment section below. Please like and subscribe. Do all the things to appease the almighty AI. Bye!